Hello, everybody. I'm back, or should I say we're back, because I'm joined by...
Hi, it's CAMMIE.
Hi, it's CAMMIE. And also, if you hear little purrs in the microphone, I don't know if you can it's picking it up or not. That's because Piper, little baby girl, is right up against the microphone. Like, she's right next to it, and she's purring really loudly and won't stop moving. Her tail just brushed against it. So if you're hearing that, it's because she's in here, and she is my little recording buddy that is chaos of all. You want to be let out? Okay, we're gonna open the door and let you out. There she goes. Oh, she darted the fuck out of here. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Okay. So we're doing another Am I the A-hole reading, as we do. You know, that's what the podcast is called. Dman The Voice reads Am I the Asshole. Sometimes it's Dman The Voice and CAMMIE. So we're gonna jump into it. Are you ready, honey?
I'm ready.
Oh, she's ready. Alrighty, tidy lefty loosey, folks. Am I the asshole for not taking my ex-wife back after she left me for an, quote, alpha male? Oh boy, I'm gonna have some opinions on this one, because the alpha male does not exist. It's not a thing. It's not real. Alphas, betas, omegas, sigmas, all this shit. Sigma's a new thing for the new generation. Y'all suck too. All this stuff taken from the study of wolf packs or whatever, widely debunked by the guy who did it initially. Is the whole wolf pack thing. Not a thing in the wild. It was a thing in captivity. Like, it's not a universal thing. Alpha males aren't real. Okay? If you call yourself an alpha, I guarantee you're not. Alright? Because the stereotypical, the alpha is the dude that's like, big bro, is these dudes who are louder than everyone else and shout everyone else down and bully other people into their way of thinking, because they're an alpha, bro. Fuck you. I'll kick your ass. Does that make me an alpha? Because I'll kick the shit out of an alpha bro? Does that make me an alpha? Or does that make me just somebody who knows how to fight and hates you? You know what I'm saying? You have anything to say about alphas before we get started, honey?
I think you covered all of it.
Okay. Let's go. Throwaway. Oh, pussy. My ex, 30 female, wants to get back with me, 29 male, after she left me about a year and a half ago. That's the TLDR. That's not... you need to explain yourself. Okay. I had been with my ex for 7 years, married for 5. It felt like love at first sight, and everything felt so natural when we met. After about 2 years of dating, we decided to tie the knot. Not soon after, we welcomed our baby boy, 4 male. He was a pandemic baby. There's a lot of those.
Yeah.
A lot of people in the pandemic fucking... You know what I'm saying? That's the sound of clapping cheeks. So my wife ended up quitting her job, while I continued working as a line cook and started doing Uber Eats on the side. You try to support a whole family on a line cook's salary?
And Uber Eats.
And Uber Eats. My bad. Okay. After things went a bit back to normal, my wife told me she doesn't want to be one of those women who loses their passion after settling down. Okay, fair enough. So she went back to finish law school and take her bar. She was studying to be a lawyer, and she's the one who decided to stay at home when you're a line cook? Sure, whatever. Of course, I wholeheartedly supported her, and we tried to make it work. Good man. After she passed, she immediately got hired at a firm downtown, through the help of her friend, Dumbo, 33 female. Dumbo? Is that...
Uh-oh.
Your friend? Why are you calling your friend Dumbo? Is that a nickname, or is she fat?
Oh.
With big ears, or, like, do we not like Dumbo? Is that why you're calling her Dumbo?
Probably.
Yeah. This is where the problem started. He's insulting. He said this is where the problem started. So I'm guessing Dumbo probably introduced her to the alpha male that she ended up leaving him for. That's why we don't like Dumbo. Okay. Yeah. From the get-go, my wife began making good money. Lawyers tend to do that. Good enough that she told me to quit my job and take care of our son full-time, as she won't have the time. I said no. I love my job. Cooking was my passion. And I even worked my way up to a full-fledged chef. Oh, hell yeah. That's a good career too, brother. All right. My biggest regret in our marriage had to had to have been her talking me into leaving, but I did and became a stay-at-home dad. Oh, I mean, you make sacrifices for your family, and I guess if she's making you need somebody to take care of your kids, she's making the better money. But like, having to give up on what you love doing, is because like, I also feeling like you were pushed into it by your partner. Resentment. Even if like it makes sense, to take care of the baby, obviously, but it's like, man, that sucks. Mm-hmm. You could figure it out. What people do. Working parents do it all the time. I guess you didn't want to hire a nanny. You wanted one of you to. I mean, whatever. It's okay. Slowly, our marriage life began deteriorating as she started to pull away. Well, she's a big, highfalutin lawyer now. She don't have time for the stay-at-home dad. She'd work long hours and barely spend any time with us. Cheating. She'd go out drinking to network with her colleagues on the weekends. Cheating. Sometimes even going out of town. Cheating. At home, she'd always just be pissy with me. Cheating. It's like her personality did a complete 180. Thank God you said that. Too oftentimes people say, you just did a complete 360 on me. That means you're back to where you started. That's stupid. Don't say that. If you're in public, if you're ever in public, don't say you did a complete 360. That means you turn around a complete circle and you're right back where you were to begin with. 180 is the right term. This guy's right. This wasn't the sweet, nurturing girl I fell in love with all those years ago. Oh. Our intimacy became almost non-existent. Here, more people not fucking. We did one earlier. People weren't fucking. Now more people not fucking. Y'all need to start fucking. Come on now. Don't worry, there's an explicit tag on this podcast. I'm allowed to swear. After going through therapy, I can now see that I am to blame as well. Well, it always takes two to tango. Mm-hmm. Always. I should have... It could be 90-10, but still never... There's always blame to go on both sides. Always. Right. I should have communicated better and shared how I felt. Fair enough. Luckily, the highlight through this was my son. That's good. Seeing him grow and being there for a lot of his first made everything feel like it'll be okay. Oh, that's nice. That's a good dad. That's a good dad right there. One day, she finally came up to me and asked for a divorce. I wasn't surprised. Yeah. I felt everything was eventually going to lead up to this, but I didn't want to give up. Yeah. Did you guys ever try, like, relationship counseling or anything like that? I feel like that you should always try those things before you just go straight to divorce. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, but at least fight a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I asked if she's sure about this or if she wants to make it work. I recommended couples counseling or temporary separation. Yeah, see, he's offering, yeah. She declined both those offers and told me she found someone else. I told you she was cheating with the alpha male!
That's a wild thing.
I'm saying. Hearing this shattered me. Her changing and us growing apart I can understand, but never once would I have thought she'd be the type to even entertain other men. Aww. Of course she is, man. She's, all that time she was spending away from home, being pissy with you. It's all telltale signs, man. It's a tale as old as time, and it's fucking sad. She told me it's some partner at her firm. Of course it is. Haha, when did my life become a Korean rom-com?
Oh my god.
Oh, Jesus, okay. She told me that he invited her out a couple times and showed her, quote, the life of luxury, unquote, she deserves. Jesus Christ.
All right.
We argued for a bit, and she told me that he is twice the man as me. Oh, my God. He's twice the man you are. You mean the guy who gave up on his dream to raise your son because you refused to do it? That guy? The guy at your law firm is twice the man that guy who sacrificed everything to be a good father? The guy at your law firm is twice the man that man is.
Okay.
Okay. She called me feminine for being a stay-at-home dad while his wife was working hard and being home and bringing home the money. You're the one who told him to do that.
Bitch, listen.
She's the one who said he should do that. You bitch. Oh, we don't like her. This might be the first official podcast where Dman The Voice gets fucking mad. Okay? Because it happens. It does happen. What? It was your idea. That's what I'm saying. That's what bro just said. He just said while his wife was home bringing the money part, he said, what? It was your idea. That's what I'm saying, bro. Me and you, we're like this. And what about me working 2 jobs during the pandemic? Exactly. Come on, go off. To her, those weren't real jobs. It was a delivery driver and a cook. Wow.
Well, she didn't have a real job during the pandemic either.
Yeah, according to her, she was a stay-at-home mom, so apparently she wasn't. Yeah, and by the way, that wow, he typed wow in the thing. It's I was delivery driver and a cook. It wasn't a real job. Delivery job. Listen, any job you're doing to help support your family, yourself and your family, is a real job. Okay? There's no such thing as not a real job. All right? If you're doing something, you're working hard to support yourself and support your family, that is a real job worthy of respect.
And he went from line cook to a chef.
Exactly. He worked his way up in his career, right? And he worked 2 job supports during the pandemic while you were a stay-at-home mom. This bitch. We don't like this bitch, chat. All right. She told me this new guy is an alpha male who knows a woman's needs and how to take care of her. She bragged how tall and muscular he is. Bitch, me too. But, like, I don't... how he has a real job and took her on weekend getaways that she told me were work-related. I told you she was cheating! I knew it! I knew she was cheating. I told you. And here's the kicker. He's such a man, he doesn't want to make things official until me and her are separated. I almost laughed at how delusional my ex had become. I mean,
he said he didn't want to make things official until they were separated because he didn't think she was going to leave her husband.
That's exactly. He wanted to just have her as a side piece on the side, right?
Right.
Bro, he probably has a roster.
Yep.
Of bitches, like both at the firm and wherever that he's banging. She's just another one. And when she was like, I want more from this, he's like, yeah, me too, baby. But I can't be with a woman who's in a relationship already. So you have to leave your husband if we're ever gonna be together. Thinking she'd never do it, right? Thinking she'd never do it because who the fuck would do that? Who would leave their happy life and their child for some random motherfucker?
Some
random guy. Who would do that? Her, apparently. I asked her, what about our son? And she said, I can have him?
That broke my heart.
Oh my God. What? I asked her, what about our son? And she said, I can have him.
So she just didn't want to be a mom either.
Oh, she said, I can have him. He likes me better anyways. I think this hurt the most. I couldn't believe she said that about her own son. Me neither. Did you hear the gasp? Jesus. Throwing him away like he's some object. For the first time, I couldn't recognize the person in front of me. I won't lie. I did let the anger get the best of me and said some hurtful things back. As you should, King. As you should. She just said she doesn't want your son. Oh my God. I wouldn't think it was too far if you punched her in the face. Oh my God. I can't stand this woman. I could tell she was taken back by this. Probably because I almost never get angry. She turned around and left. Yeah, show her who the real alpha is, King. You know, she likes an alpha. What a real alpha does is yell at women. Yeah! You know what I'm saying? It's fucking, I know, honey, that hurts you, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I've talked about it before, you know, kids and everything, and, like, obviously, Cammie has kids from previous relationship and everything like that, and she like, you can't imagine, right?
I couldn't imagine.
You couldn't imagine not being there for your kids like that. Just throwing them away like that.
No, that hurts my heart.
I know. That's...
And, like, my ex has them full time.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we see them all the
time.
We
see them all the time.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I just could never imagine.
I've talked about this, yeah. That we have them over here, we go over there, like we're around them all the time.
And I just couldn't imagine not doing that. I just couldn't imagine them going up the rest of their lives without me being there for birthdays and when they get married and just anything else. I can't imagine.
Just giving up on them, yeah. Just completely casting them aside and pretending like they don't exist. That's, ugh.
Because separation's not easy. That kind of stuff is not an easy thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's it was hard.
Yeah.
And we got through it and everything's okay now. It's just, you just gotta do it for your kids, man.
Yeah, the kids are what's most important. And luckily in the situation we were in and everything, and are still in and everything like that, is just everybody pretty much universally agrees the kids are what most important.
Yes.
You know, like adults have feelings about each other one way or the other, you know, whatever. But you be cordial and you can even be friendly and everything like that because that's what's best for the kids.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Are me and her ex-husband ever gonna be best buddies? No, but we're cool. We can both be there for all the things for the kids because the kids want us both there.
Yeah.
And so we're there and we're supportive, and it's not a problem. And that's what being an adult in these situations is all about. You know, it's for the kids, man. It's for the kids. That's just, we still got more to go. This is a long one, folks. So buckle up. This is a great one, though. This is a good story. Let's keep moving. After she left, I cried my eyes out for 2 weeks, hoping she'd call and come back. Ah, buddy, that's beta behavior.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, I had to. I don't know. I didn't love her anymore, but life without her felt so scary.
Okay.
The only thing that kept me going was my son. I knew I couldn't turn into a bottle. I couldn't turn to the bottle or go down this dark path because of him. I managed to beg for my job back, and they rehired me for some weeknights only, which was better than nothing. Well, hey.
Dang.
Man swallowed his pride and did what's best for his son. Respect. I spent the next months just putting my head down and working in silence. The divorce proceedings were moving quickly, and before I knew it, it was official. The worst part about this was I felt like I had no support system. On social media, everyone was praising her for being this strong, independent woman who broke free from some metaphoric shackles.
Wow.
That's not surprising at all. It's always, yes, go off, queen. Do you, queen. You know your worth, queen. All this stuff, just completely ignoring the devastation she's left in her wake. Like I was some villain holding her back, exactly. And not a single person messaged me on how I'm doing. And thank God they didn't, because this is what made me want to try therapy, and I haven't looked back since.
Okay.
For all those that are unsure about therapy, I'm telling you it works. It does.
Good for you.
It does.
Guy.
Good for you, understanding you need help and getting it. It takes a big man to do that. Now, fast forward to this week. I received a phone call from an unknown number, and when I picked it up, it was my ex on the other line, bawling. She told me how her alpha male boyfriend found someone else, shock of shocks, and she's too afraid to confront him because he's a partner at her firm.
Yikes.
She finally explained her perspective and how everything led up to this point. Are we ready to hear her perspective on things, folks? On her justification for all this bullshit she's done? We ready?
We're ready.
We're ready.
Okay.
Basically, my ex has admittedly always been really pretty and a social butterfly. After she had our son and the pandemic hit, she felt ugly and insecure, even if I told her she was pretty. So I guess when she got her job, she got the validation she wanted. Of course, feeding into those delusions was Dumbo. It's the return of Dumbo. You love to see it. Who recently had divorced her husband and poisoned my ex's thoughts on how I'm a failure as a man. This is why we call her Dumbo.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you, Dumbo. Actually, that's an insult. I love Dumbo. Dumbo's a good guy. But I understand, she's probably fat with big ears. How my ex is way prettier than me, and she deserves someone of her standards. Apparently, I'm a beta male who rolls over and is stopping her from being free. She said a lot more specific stuff, too, that I think I'll keep to myself here. You got a small dick?
Ooh.
Talk about you having a small dick?
Ooh. Is
that what you're talking about? I bet that's what you're keeping to yourself. Ooh. Do you have a small dick? It's okay. It's okay to have a small dick. You can do other things. But it was definitely an eye-opening conversation. I shouldn't have pushed my ex away to be vulnerable enough to listen to Dumbo. Are you saying you're blaming yourself for her listening to Dumbo?
Yikes.
Buddy, don't do that. It's not your fault. But still, after hearing all this, I was just really disappointed more than anything that she would be stupid enough to throw everything away on some whim and peer pressure. Yeah, that's some serious teenage high school behavior right there. Because your friend said that your husband was shitty, you're just like, yeah, totally. Let's fuck this guy at my firm. Like, how old are we? How old are we here? My ex asked me if we can try again. Fuck you. She told me how much she misses me and how she took me and all I did for her for granted. You goddamn right she did. For example, I always made her lunch in the morning. Oh, what a guy. I made sure she's up to date with her pills. Nice. And so on. Her pills. So she's crazy too? She takes them crazy pills. She misses those little things. I admit to telling her that I missed her too. Don't do that. And I know our son does for sure. Well, but she did make every decision herself.
Yep.
And what if things worked out with the other guy? I'm not some consolation prize she can come running back to. That's right. Talk your shit, King. Talk your shit. She cried and told me that she wanted me back a week after she left. Damn. A week, but 7 years later, now you're finally reaching out? Jesus Christ. But was too prideful to call. I firmly told her no and hung up. That's right, as you do. Since then, my phone's been blowing up from friends and family that I'm heartless. Fuck you.
No.
Man, fuck. Those aren't your friends. Get new friends. I'll be your friend. Yeah. Get new friends. Man, fuck that bitch. What are you talking about? That my wife was vulnerable and taken advantage of. Is she a child? She is vulnerable and taken advantage of. Is she a little baby child? No, she's a grown woman who made decisions. I think not. And instead of picking up the pieces and helping her, I'm leaving her to fend for herself. Because she's a grown woman who made her choices. Mm-hmm. What are we talking about here? Not gonna lie, that message hurt the most. She's a grown woman who made her own decisions. What are we doing here? Taken advantage of? Right? Like she's some helpless little kid that was preyed upon by a predator? They were both grown-ass adults that made the decisions they made.
We also called it in the beginning.
Yeah.
We called it in the beginning.
Yeah.
That other man did not want her to leave her husband.
No, she was just a little thing for him to fuck around with at work. Like it was nothing to her. She was clearly nothing to him. I respect her father a lot, so I heard him out. He wants me to come over for a resolution/intervention this weekend and bring my son. They just want a conversation to hear both sides and see if it really is resolvable. I'm attending, but I'm going to stay firm with my answer, as you should. All the recent messages have been making me rethink my stance. Don't. I just want to make sure I'm not in the wrong before I attend. So, am I the asshole? P.S. Sorry for the long rant. Hey, I do it too. It's fine. No, you're not the asshole. She is. And she has made her bed and now she has to fucking lie in it. Mm-hmm. That is like, all these, like, what's really pisses me off, like, obviously she's a bitch. But what really pisses me off is all these so-called friends, not real friends if you ask me, and family, trying to pressure him and make him feel like he needs to take her back. Because she's just some poor little baby who was taken advantage of. Like, she didn't completely blow up her fucking family and walk out on him and her son without a care in the world.
She did not give a shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, what do you mean he has to take her back because now she regrets her life-altering shitty decision? She made her bed, now she has to fucking lie in it. I've talked a lot. You talk.
What I can say about that is I just don't know. Like, that is so just awful. Like, I'm not perfect. Me and my ex-husband, we divorced, obviously.
Yep.
And so, but that was like a mutual agreement.
Yeah, you guys went to the counseling and stuff and tried.
Yeah, and we just weren't good for each other.
Yeah, and you both recognized that since.
Yeah, and like since that, since we've been separated, it was a really hard separation, but we worked it out. Mm-hmm. And because, like you said, it's because the kids are more important.
Right. Exactly.
I could not imagine just dropping everything just to go on a whim to this other person because what? Because he takes her on trips? Because he's more successful? Even though she was the one who told him to be a stay-at-home dad? Mm-hmm. He was also successful in his career. Mm-hmm. And expecting him to do all of that just to throw it back in his face like that is also just disappointing. Mm-hmm. I'm embarrassed that we share a gender.
No, not the white knight over here. Not the I apologize.
I apologize for my gender. Yeah.
We fucking hate those guys.
Yeah, we do. But what an awful woman.
Seriously. Like, what an awful fucking woman for leaving her husband for all this shit and abandoning her kid. And like you said, like sometimes marriages, relationships, they don't work out, right?
Right.
people, they realize they're not good together, they fall out of love, whatever the hell happened, it happens, right? All the time, people split up, and nobody's evil. Nobody's evil. Bad, right? Yeah. Like in your situation, people made mistakes, people did bad things, but no one's evil, right? And you work it out, you work through it, and you move on, right? Especially if you got kids. But like, this woman completely blew up her life and walked out on her husband, her very supportive husband. Because, like you said, gave up his budding career, his career that he was working in, and he became a full-blown chef and was doing things.
He didn't even want to leave.
He didn't want to leave, but he did that for them and their family, and then she, like you said, she threw it back in his face. The fucking... Ugh.
I kind of expected it a little bit, though, too, because of the way she was, like... I don't know. She was expecting him to drop everything for her to be successful in her career and took nothing from his career. Like, she did not give a shit about his career. She just was. She wanted him to take that backseat and to make those sacrifices for her to not have to.
Mm-hmm. And now, it's all blown up in her face. Fuckboy Supreme has decided he didn't want her anymore.
Right. And
now she's going to come back to the man who was always supporting her and always there for her. The real man in this situation. The real alpha. And now I hope that bro stays firm. I hope he doesn't let the peer pressure from these people get to him. Like, friends. If your friends are sitting here trying to pressure you to go back to this woman, they're not your friends.
No.
Okay? Because I got friends, and, like, I've had exes and stuff, and homies, if you're listening to this, you know what I'm talking about. This one girl I was with, she did a real number on me, right? And after the fact, you know what my boy said? You know what my best friend in the world said? He gave me a big hug, and he said, "Hey, fuck that bitch." That's it. He gave me a big hug, he said in my ear, he said, "Fuck that bitch, bro." And then we got drunk. Because that's what you do.
That's what you do.
That's what supporting your friends is about, right? My other best friend, she gave me a hug too, and she was like, man, she's a little bit more tactful than he is. She didn't quite say "fuck that bitch." We talked about it. She listened to me talk and vent and stuff, and she gave her advice. It was a little bit more of an emotional thing, but that's great too. Like, and then we got drunk. No, we didn't get drunk. We got high. But like, no. The point is, like that's what real friends do, right? That's what real, and like, mind you, real friends don't let you be like delusional and like think that you did nothing wrong in any situation, whatever.
Right.
But like, they certainly don't tell you should go back to somebody who completely destroyed you for whatever the fuck reason it is or whatever. Like, because maybe they're friends of hers too, and they're like, well, she was taking advantage of, and she's a grown woman.
She should have kind of expected it, to be super honest. Like, how... What do you mean? What do you mean she was taken advantage of and is in a vulnerable state?
I'm saying, like I said, she's a grown woman.
Like, I don't...
Taken advantage of? Also, what the fuck are you talking about?
Back to what her explanation about her perspective.
Mm-hmm.
She was already looking for validation from somebody else.
Going into the job.
Yep. She was already, like, and I understand feeling insecure.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? I understand that.
Mm-hmm. CAMMIE knows insecurity, folks. CAMMIE understands.
So, but I could not getting any kind of validation from anybody but you.
Oh. And
that's my problem.
Mm-hmm.
Is she was already looking, and of course she's blaming this other girl who's another
Dumbo!
Friend. Yeah, who is obviously like feeding all these things into her head. Blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so good for that lady, but she's obviously not mature enough to realize that their situations were very different.
Yeah.
So that's something that she could have also just waved off. She didn't have to listen to her.
Mm-hmm. No, she, like you said, she went into the job and into the situation looking for validation and was so open and susceptible to that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And like, mind you, that doesn't mean she was taking advantage of. It means that she was already going in there looking for a reason to pull away from her husband.
Yeah.
And she allowed that to happen. And now she regrets it 7 years later, whatever, you know. But it's just, man, no, this dude's not the asshole at all.
No.
Stand strong on your stance, King. You know, if she wants to come back, and try and be a mom of some sorts or some kind of person in the kid's life, that's up to you.
Yeah.
On if you want to allow that. If you think it would,
really
if you think it'd be beneficial for your son to do that, then then you can look into that, and that's a separate issue. Whether or not you, actually, I don't know if they were separated they were together for 7 years. I don't know how long her and this dude were together until she came back. He didn't say how long she was gone before she decided to come back. I don't know.
And I also don't think it's true when she said, I wanted to come back after the week that
he said it was months or whatever. So I don't know how long it's actually been. If I missed that, I might have missed that. I don't know how long it's actually been.
Well, it says for mail, so I don't know how long it took for her to get all of her stuff.
Yeah, well, they had him during the pandemic, and then after. Yeah, he didn't really specify how long they were having their issues, and like how long it took for them to split. How long it took for them to split, and how long she was gone before she had to come back. It wasn't 7 years. That was a mistake on our part. But like, point is, like, if she wants to come back and try and be a mom of some sorts, like I said, that's up to you, the dad, because she completely abandoned your kid, you and your son. So it is now up to you on how much you want to allow her to be a part of your son's life. If you think it'd be beneficial for him, then make those decisions or whatever. And then obviously as he gets older, he can decide if he wants to have a relationship with her or not. Yeah. But that's like I said, that's a separate issue from your guys' relationship. That's a separate issue entirely. Her relationship with her son. But I mean, stand firm. You deserve to be happy outside of her, and she can go off and be a lawyer and do whatever the fuck she wants to do over there. All right, I think that's the end of this one. Before our special message, anything final thoughts?
No, I don't really have any.
All right.
That was a heavy one.
That was a heavy one. That was a long one too. 32 minutes, and we haven't done the special message yet. Jesus. Here we go. All right, everyone. That was a big one. That was a chunky one. That was a stunky boy.
It was a long one.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was a long Reddit post, and we had a lot of opinions on it and stuff, and it was kind of a heavy, topic about things. And so, sometimes these podcasts can be a little longer. Sometimes they'll be, a little shorter. It all depends on the content, right? It depends on how long the post is and our feelings, my feelings, whatever's feeling on stuff. So anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out. And we're going to get into the special message now, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
The only thing with also back to the post is the only thing I can even think of is maybe he's not telling everything. Mm-hmm. Maybe she did communicate that she was feeling a little insecure and that she was attempting to communicate with him what she was feeling and everything else that she was going through. Mm-hmm. And he just wasn't listening to her. Mm. That's the only thing I can think of that could be a possibility. Because this whole post just made her seem like a bitch. Right. And it's surprising to me that everyone took her side for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, based on face value of the post that we're reading from this perspective. Right. You just gotta communicate. Mm-hmm. If she didn't say anything to him and all of a sudden is just pulling away, that's because she didn't communicate. Mm-hmm. She failed their relationship on her part because she wasn't upfront with how she was feeling to him about her insecurities, about everything else, about how she was like, and didn't give him that chance to be like, okay, so what can we do? Right. What can we do to work on those insecurities? What can we do to make sure, because that's what, when I have mine, that's what we do. Mm-hmm. We talk about it, and you're always like, okay, what can we do? And usually, there's nothing. But it's the idea that you're willing to work on it with me that's important. Right.
Yeah, I mean that's really the crux of the special message today is just communication. Just communicating with your partner, and just like I said, if you have those, like she said, if you have those insecurities, and you have those issues and all that, then like talk about them. That's what they're there for. That's what your partner is supposed to be there for. Is you talk about these issues. Maybe you need to go to therapy. Maybe you guys need to talk to it. In and of yourselves and discover why you're feeling that way. But what you don't do is blow up your entire relationship because some dude called you pretty.
Right.
Like that's, and like I said, like if like you said, maybe if we're missing context on, like, because obviously we're seeing one person's perspective, so maybe, you know, her perspective was different on things. Maybe he did things or whatever. I don't know. But all I know is, like, she's the one who left and blew up the relationship, and now is the one who wants to come back.
Right.
So he couldn't have been that bad, right?
And if
like,
he
couldn't have been, like, I mean, like, I get where your point is, and, like, obviously there's two sides to every story, but, like, if he was that bad, she wouldn't want to come back. She
wouldn't want to go back.
She wouldn't want to be coming back. She wouldn't be begging to come back now.
Right.
If he was really that bad. So I'm inclined to believe bro's story.
That's fair.
On more of that point.
That's fair, because if the relationship was as bad as she was making it out to be, why is she wanting to go back?
Exactly. Well, she didn't even make the relationship out to be bad. She just basically called bro a pussy and said he wasn't man enough for her and left.
Yeah.
Like, that was the whole thing. And so, like, yeah. That's the crux. Like, so the special message is just communication. Communicate with your partner. Be open. Be honest. And, you know, work on things, y'all. Like, work on your relationships and do the work necessary before you jump to blowing things up. If things need to end, they need to end, you know, and maybe it's important to recognize when that's something that needs to happen. But to just blow it up because you feel like your partner's not man enough or whatever, or woman enough, or not doing this or not doing that, and instead of talking to them about it and discussing any issues or feelings you're having and trying to discover why you're feeling that way and move forward, you just like, you're a fucking pussy and I'm leaving you after 7 years of marriage.
It's wild.
Fuck you. That's what you do in high school.
Yep.
That's what you do in, like, the early stages of a Tinder relationship. You don't, after 7 years, you don't just whoop in one day, call your husband a pussy and move on. Mm-hmm. That's not what we do. And to say nothing of how she abandoned her son.
Yeah, that's what I can't wrap my head around.
That's what I'm saying. Regardless of the relationship you do or don't want to have with, you know, your husband or ex-husband, whatever, that's your son. Mm-hmm. You just said he can have him.
She can have him.
He can have him because she wants to live her new life now with her big lawyer boyfriend and shit. Like,
go on vacations and stuff.
Live the life of luxury. But anyway, we're not gonna go on a whole other tangent about it. Just that's the special message. Just communicate. Communicate with your partner. Discuss your problems, your issues, and be honest before you blow everything up. All right. Any other final things, honey? No? No? All right. Thanks for listening. This is a long one, folks. Take it in doses if you need. Like any good medication. Bye!
Bye!